Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. I am Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 15. And it is titled Retreat Ready. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell. And are you ready to get into this here review?
Let's do it.
All right. So we can start with Virginia and Eric.
All right.
Why'd you laugh?
You're like, so we can start with Virginia and Eric.
I didn't know where we were going to start, so I'm just starting at the top of my page.
All right.
So Virginia and Eric start off discussing them being annoyed with each other on the drive up to Hills and Head. I'm gonna be completely honest, that is not a very fun drive. But I mean, it's short, so I guess. He said he doesn't like that she gets onto him in front of the cameras. So I can only imagine what their conversations are like at home,
outside of the camera,
when the cameras are not running, if he feels that she gets onto him in front of the cameras. Because I just feel like she just doesn't take his crap. Not that she is like, and you did this. Like, I feel like it's really like, no, you said this. You need to own up to what you said.
Right.
Because he likes to play the nice guy for the cameras.
He likes to throw the stone and hide his hands.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, nope, you did it to me. You gonna do it to me in front of everybody. Say what you said, Eric. So she, let's see. So when they get to the, what are we calling this? The retreat house. Yeah. And they were all sitting down having a conversation together about the things that they've learned about themselves. And I don't know if the question was directly about yourself or what have you learned? What have you learned
throughout the experience?
And she said that she's learned that you have to be committed to every day. And he doesn't touch on anything that he's learned. He was like, I have to accept that I'm not her number one. And I'm like, there's another jab, Eric. You throwing them. And we were talking about self and you turned this on Virginia. What have you learned? Not, I guess he's saying I learned that I'm not number one and I have to accept that, which is not what we were doing.
Yeah,
here.
I feel like that was a jab at her as well, like you did. But yeah, I don't know, man. Eric just rubs me the wrong way, man.
And we were rooting for him in the beginning.
In the beginning, yes. In the beginning, we were.
So she was like, geez, it's only been 6 weeks. Basically, shut up. So then they played Mathsology, Married at First Sightology.
Yeah.
And we find out that the Lake Show doesn't really know anything about each other.
No, they don't. They spend so much time trying to figure out. They spend so much time arguing with each other about stuff.
About animals at that. Right. Most of the arguments are about her cats and her dog.
Yeah. That he started. And she just standing her ground on certain things. So it's crazy.
So on the first night, Clara and Ryan were not there. So when Clara and Ryan arrive, Virginia and Clara kind of take a moment to themselves while Clara is getting changed. I guess she was going to put on her bathing suit to start the day. And Virginia told Clara during this conversation that she and Eric did sleep in the same bed with each other, but he slept in the bed with all of his clothes on because he was upset with her. I'm like, not my husband.
Nah. Couldn't be me.
Mad or not, he is not going to be uncomfortable in this bed.
Oh, no.
I didn't understand what point he was trying to prove. I guess that he could be out.
I don't know. I don't get it. I just think that's just the expression of frustration, probably. I ain't even write anything down for that little part.
I wrote it down because I thought that it was interesting that she made mention that he slept in his clothes last night. So
I thought it was more interesting that she was like, you want to come in here with me? But that's because like dudes wouldn't be like, man, I'm finna change clothes. You want to come in here with me?
Let's not talk about the strange things your friends have done. Because I got stories for days. But no, it's just like, I guess we're not weird about changing clothes in front of each other. And it's a moment that you can have like away from cameras, even though you're still mic'd up. So. Next up, Virginia and Eric going to have a picnic on the beach and they discuss decision day. She basically told him, I didn't write much about their discussion during decision day, but when they got back to the house, everyone was talking about their plans after decision day. And Virginia told everyone that she was moving back to her apartment and that Eric doesn't like it. So as a collective, everybody is like trying to find ways to help with the compromise. Jake is like, I mean, he's allergic to your cat. Put your cat in one room or a basement or something. I can't remember what Brianna's suggestion was, but literally everybody was throwing out suggestions on how to make this work. And I'm like, all of these people are being very feasible. And both you and your husband are like, no. There is no compromise. Yeah.
Like on that part, I feel like Virginia is reaching.
What do you mean?
Just because.
I mean, on what part in particular? I'm not disagreeing
about the cats.
Okay.
Because it's like, well, you know, at the table, they were like, I got my cats, my dog, and all this and all that. Mm-hmm. But once they got into the bedroom, and she was like, my cats sleep with me. You know this man is allergic to cats.
Allegedly. And the only reason that I say allegedly is because when he went to her house, he was like, I can't even tell that you have cats here. And it's like, if you were allergic, your body would tell you that there are cats there. That's the only reason I say allegedly.
We're just going off of him saying that he's allergic to cats.
We also know that he lies.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So the man is allergic to cats and she won't come off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to work, like, honestly, man, you're allergic to something, I will figure out a way to, like, fix it. Like, if it's an animal of mine and I'm not going to get rid of it, I'll figure it out. But not sleeping in my bed, that's just something we wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I get it. Hey, hold your ground on certain things that you want to hold your ground on. But some things you got to bend.
Yeah, because he also was like, hey, the cats can be in the house, but not in our bed. Like, you close the door. And she's like, no, you don't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Right.
Like, the cats are temperamental. Don't get me wrong. Like, my grandmother had a ton of cats. They were all like outside cats, but cats are temperamental when she did let them in the house. But cats will like take that out on you, and he gonna end up attacked by her cat because, you know, he's fundamentally against cats.
Yeah.
And so they're going to feel that. And they are going to take it out on him, whether they like pee on his uniform or something. Like, it's going to be something that happens to his things because of those cats.
Yeah.
But she's not going to get rid of the cat. Or he might poison the cat. I don't know.
Eric was about ready to lose it in that bed, man. Just like, oh, you're getting on my nerves.
So, yeah, they get up the next morning and discuss their hopes for the future. And I don't know that they agreed. But she said that the first thing they need to do is find somewhere to live.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know how realistic it is. She asked that man, she expects him. Well, she basically gave him an ultimatum. You got 4 months after decision day, because that's when my lease is up, to figure it out, buddy. Bucko.
I think that if he wants to figure it out, he could.
Oh, for sure. I'm pretty sure it you know, if it came down to it, he could rent it out or do something. But it's like, man, just thinking about it, it's like, oh man, it's like 4 months is not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time.
Then you came into the situation thinking that, okay, well, I own, you know, and she rents. She'll probably want to stay with me.
I think he also should have put, I am allergic to cats on his application. Don't put me in a relationship with someone that has a cat as a non-negotiable.
He probably should have. But I feel like she's like standing her ground like extra hard when it comes to the pets.
This is a support cat.
Yeah, right.
All right, you got anything else for them?
No.
All right, so we go to the Morales family, which is Brianna and Vincent. So they open up with her saying that she has used the bathroom 4 times during their 5-hour drive. I was like, Brie could not ride with me.
No.
Like, she would get left.
I would have said the same thing
on
Vincent
85.
I would have said the same thing Vincent said, man, you better get you a bottle.
Like, she was like, I can't aim.
I can't aim. You better learn.
Like, 4 times?
That's way too much, man.
That's worse than me pregnant.
Right.
So while they were sitting down and talking about what they were learning what they had learned about themselves with all the couples, Brianna says that she's learned patience during the process. And Vincent says that he's learned, or that he wants to be a better person. I don't know, like, what I've learned is I want to be a better person.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was a cop-out answer.
It probably was.
And I don't really feel like Brianna has learned a lot of patience. Or no, I take that back. She may have learned patience, but she definitely has not learned compromise.
Nah, she still don't understand what that means.
Because the last scene with the two of them, he looked like he wanted to fight her about waking him up out of his sleep. So when they get ready to play Mathsology, they also lose to Haley and Jacob. It was 3 couples, the lake show, what did he call them?
I don't got it.
It was some in Spanish. The Tigers.
The Los Tigres.
I was like, they were the Tigers, and then you had
Team Harambe.
Team Harambe. R.I.P. So after the game, Brianna tells Vincent that she's planning for them to go horseback riding, and he does not want to do it.
Right.
Tommy and I had a long discussion about Vincent and his unwillingness to try new things. We chalked it up to he's just gonna have to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, he's very uncomfortable because I think it's he might have been picked on, or it's just a feeling of I don't fit here. Mm-hmm. And so because I feel like I don't fit, I don't want to be put in those positions to where I'm like not comfortable. But ultimately he did get on the horse. He was very skeptical about doing that.
He was like, this horse is big.
I don't like bigger animals than me. But I get it, man. He was thinking about, like people have fallen off of horses and been paralyzed, which is some of the concerns that he had.
Which makes me wonder, did he see, I know a lot of people go ride the horses along the shore in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. I wonder, did he grow up seeing that? And he's like, it's a no for me. Yeah. Because like, when I think about like people going out of the country and experiencing things, I think about when Tommy and I went on our honeymoon to Jamaica. And there was this guy named Paul who was with us when we went on a boat ride on a catamaran cruise. And on the way to the catamaran cruise, there was a goat tied up outside of a house. Yep. And Paul just started messing with this goat. And this goat was literally going to attack this man. And we're like, Paul, leave the goat alone. So I think about that with the horse situation. Like if you remove the goat and add a horse, drunk people agitating animals can end wrong. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think about it in the context of this person may have been agitating this animal, then yeah, you're just looking at it like horses go crazy. I'm not doing that. Yeah. So I could see if he did grow up seeing that as a thing that he would be very uncomfortable. But I also get the people have weird fears, and his just might be horses for whatever reason.
Or big animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. He rode the horse though.
He did.
I was proud of him. He got on the horse and he definitely was ready to get off of it. Mm-hmm. He's like, you need to speed up. My horse is
So yeah, at the ending of their horseback ride, they sat down on the beach and they talked, and he was like, you got to let me know when you planning crazy stuff like this, because I'm not going to always be here for it. And
threw out that test.
Yeah, he threw out a test question of, would you ever swim with sharks? And she was like, yeah. He was like, nah. Nah.
Leave me out of he said.
I guess he was like, this is the craziest thing that I could ask somebody to do. Would you swim with a shark? She was like, yes, no.
I ain't gonna do it.
So they need to refer back to his list that he gave her when they were laying in the bed that day. And let's pick something off of that.
All that stuff was in Atlanta though.
No, he said let's go to New York.
Oh, okay.
Like he gave a list of places that they could go. Like him, her, and his mom were talking about going to another country together. Mm-hmm. So like we can find some middle ground, but don't put me with animals.
So he doesn't like surprises.
He does not like surprises. Let's see. So next up, they're all sitting back around the table again. They're talking about after decision day. Mm-hmm. Brianna has said that she's agreed to move in with Vincent, or Vincent said that Brianna has agreed to move in. Yeah. Brianna looked like no.
Right.
I just said that because I was being nice, but
I don't even feel like she said that. I don't feel like they really discussed that. Like I know we haven't saw them discuss it, but it's kind of like Vincent. I felt like Vincent just was like speaking up, and Brianna was, instead of embarrassing Vincent by saying no, because they had just had to sit through Eric and Virginia's thing. Mm-hmm. And so she just was like, oh, and then they discuss it, later. But yeah, I don't think they talked about it. I don't know if they talked. Well, it doesn't seem like
I felt like there had to have been some conversation about it, but then like they both mentioned that they live down the street from each other, or they live near each other in Buckhead. I'm gathering that there's a reason that his place was chosen over hers. My thought process behind this is, and I'm not sure how true this is that Married at First Sight pays for you guys to live somewhere together until the leases are up. And then you can find your own place, which was part of why I remember on last season, Woody and Amani moved next door to Karen and Miles because the money was presented to them to find them somewhere to live, and that's where they chose to live. Honestly, I mean, I know we did it a totally different way when we got married, but we also didn't get married at first sight.
Yeah.
Or not when we got married, but when we got together. I think that the best thing to do is to find somewhere that is yours together, because then nobody feels ownership of the place. Like it's not my apartment, it's not your apartment, it's our apartment. And we don't have to fight about, you're in my space, I like it like this is mine.
And I think that's what Vincent and Brianna is gonna run into by her moving into his. And she made it seem like her place is bigger than his.
Yeah, she was like, it's all going into a 1-bedroom, and I believe she has a 2.
I don't know. We do know he has a 1-bedroom. So, I don't know. Issues, maybe not.
It's probably going to be issues until they can get out of that lease.
Yeah.
So after that, they wake up the next morning, the day that everybody's about to head out, and they discuss him not getting enough rest yet again. And then they also discuss decision day, and he's talking about where they're going to be post decision day. And she's like, you sound really sure of yourself. I know that this is a TV show, but it's irritating when they do that. Like, Amani tried that with Woody.
Yeah.
Bree is trying that with Vincent. We know you guys are staying together. You guys know you're staying together. Why are we playing this game? Like, you don't know what we gonna do. Girl, shut up. Because he might just turn around and be like, I'm sick of this. Quit playing with me. No, we're not staying together. Like, you're tiptoeing on thin ice. And I'm not going to say that he's actually going to do that, but you just don't know the reaction that you're going to get out of a person. Because we didn't expect him to go crazy like that at the dance class.
Oh, we did not. No, we did not.
But that's all I have for them.
Me too.
All right. So I am going to go into the biggest headache of the season that's left. And that's Haley and Jacob. So we opened up with Haley handing the bracelet back to Jacob. I hope he was able to get his full refund back on this.
Hopefully.
And then they decide that they're going to go up to Hilton Head separately, which Haley left first, but he got there first. Like, what was she doing?
I don't know. She probably went home and chilled out for a little minute or something. And he probably left from.
Like, right after that, like, my stuff is already in the car packed. I'm just going to go ahead and head out.
Right.
So Jacob arrived first, and he made himself 8 eggs. I was
Which is weird.
Cholesterol.
Like, why 8?
It was all he ate, though.
That's a lot of eggs.
But that's literally all he ate.
Right.
And that's coming from somebody that likes eggs.
Right.
Like, the fact that you say that's a lot of eggs, that's a lot of eggs.
8?
8. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
So she's upset with him because he came in and cooked dinner for himself. And she was like, we were supposed to be cooking together for everyone. He's like, I thought that was tomorrow. So everyone else starts arriving. Everyone except for Clara and Ryan arrived that same night. She makes sure to make a big deal of it in front of the other ladies that she is going to be cooking alone because he came in and he made himself eggs before she got there. And I was like, way to be a victim, Haley. You're a victim because he was hungry.
Yeah.
So let's see. Jacob begins to explain. Oh, they sit down and ask about what they've learned. Jacob explains what he's learned. I don't know how they got into an argument there. She hijacked the conversation. He didn't say what he's learned. He just was basically like, this experiment didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. Mm-hmm. And she was like, yeah, because so-and-so and such. And he's like, well, you. And she's like, well, you. And then it just went back and forth. And everybody else there was just like, okay, we in this now. And then he, at the ending of this, described this as being one very long, bad first date. Yeah. And I was like, I could see that. Like, it's a never-ending first date. Exactly. And it's been 8 weeks long, and it's still not over yet, or 7 weeks long at this point. She also got upset because she said he called her fake, and that pissed her off even more. I don't even know why he said she was fake.
I don't either.
It was something, I think it was something along the lines of her saying she doesn't want to do things that are heavy.
Yeah, she want to keep it light.
And then she was like, oh, no, not heavy. And he was like, yeah, that's what you said because you were faking it all. She's like, I'm not fake. So, yeah, it was just, they're a lot. Or she's a lot because I'm still Team Jacob.
Yeah.
So everyone else is visibly uncomfortable. They sit down and they play mathsology. They end up being a wicked couple, which is crazy to everybody else in the room because they're like, y'all don't even like each other.
Right. We know y'all are not working out. So,
but it makes sense because they're not sharing experiences with each other. They're just sharing straight facts.
Right.
And that's all this game was straight facts.
Right. So exactly.
It's easy to get facts correct if you just listen.
She said, surprisingly, Jake has told me his life and I listened to him.
So next they go fishing. I missed that whole thing. Like Tommy had to go back and tell me what they did because I was like, they did something together.
They caught the crabs.
I remember the crabs in the box.
They went crabbing.
Okay. So I
don't even think they had a discussion afterwards though.
If they did, I missed it. Like I remember seeing them, but I don't remember.
Yeah, they were like laughing and talking with each other, but I don't remember the conversation if they had one afterwards.
So they come back in and they sit down and do an activity that Dr. Pepper had them to do, which was write down nice things about each other. And surprisingly, they were able to pull out nice things about each other. And a lot of the things that they wrote were the same. That's what it was, yeah. So they wrote very similar things about each other. And Jacob then said, that's probably why we were matched. And Haley thought that, they were going somewhere with this conversation. And then she gets up the next morning and Jake is gone.
Yeah, Jake, I don't get why she thought like things were gonna change in a week because Jake has already clocked out. Jake is like, I'm done with this. I'm not playing any more games with you. I'm gonna go through the through the process because I committed to the 8 weeks. But once we get to it, it's not going to be a lot of conversation. It's going to be no, and we're going to move past it. Mm-hmm. He even said that in one of his confessionals. It's like getting a divorce is hard or something like that.
He did in this episode.
Yeah.
He directly said the D word.
Yeah. So we know what was about to happen. So
I don't know. Haley seems like she wants a lot from Jacob that she's not willing to also give herself. And that's the bigger problem of their relationship, is that she feels that he needs to do all of the changing because, I'm Haley and you're not. Yeah. And it's not working out that way. But she went and she had the conversation with Eric and Virginia that he was gone and that she was about to leave. And Eric was like, yeah, he had to have gotten up pretty early to leave because I woke up early and he wasn't up. And he was already gone. But production knew that he was leaving because production followed him.
Yeah.
I mean, they did use some cameras that were like on the actual house, but there was one in the room as well following him as he was getting his things together to leave. So he told somebody he was gone. Because production's not just there at the butt crack of dawn. Just what did Glenn call it? Dark 30. Yeah. He wasn't just up by himself, and production was like, "Oh, we should run over and see what Jake's doing." No,
but it's really. I started thinking about what was going on in Jake's head. Like, why leave that early and don't say bye to anybody?
Well,
or at least tell people the night before, "Hey, I'm gonna leave early."
Well, my assumption was he did tell someone the night before, and the only reason I say that is because Jake arrived there first, right? So his car should be at the top part of the driveway because he got there first.
Oh, yeah.
But when he was leaving, at the back of the driveway. So it had to have been a conversation of some sort like, hey, we need to move the car so that I can get out.
Yeah.
So somebody knew. It just might not have been his wife, which
is okay.
He says that she doesn't have good communication with him. So why should he at this point decide to have good communication with her? Because she wouldn't even tell him when she was arriving to the house. That's why he went and made those 8 eggs because he was hungry.
Right. I don't know. I get it.
It's like, I get his line of thinking. Would I have done it? No.
Right.
But if I already don't deal with you like that, married or not, if I don't deal with you like that, I'm not going out of my way to tell you what I'm doing. And me picking up my phone is going out of my way because I don't deal with you like that. Now, I probably would have told one of the guys, but I don't even know what guy he would have been close to.
I don't know.
To have that conversation because him and Eric don't seem like they mesh.
Ryan
is the guy that's like able to be cool with everybody in every social situation. So yeah, I can see me telling Ryan, and we might find out that Ryan did know.
Possible.
We just don't know.
Possible.
All right, that's all I have for them. So last but not least is Clara and Ryan. So they decided to head up a day late because Clara had something to do for work. Their first activity, or the only activity that they technically did, was they went paddleboarding. After they got done paddleboarding, they talked about decision day while they were sitting on the water.
Yeah.
And he didn't give her anything to go on from that decision day conversation. And I know that a lot of this is editing, but it feels like some of Claire's talking to him is like talking to a brick wall.
Man.
Like he's just staring at her.
And like she's asking a question, he's just like, for sure.
For sure. Sure. Yeah.
He probably never noticed how much he said sure or for sure until this show.
If then. So.
Oh, she did like before all that, when they first got there, or it might have been at nighttime, I don't know. But she said, was asking the girls, do people ask you if you're losing yourself? And I remembered that just because me and you had a discussion about your identity and making sure that you have an identity within the marriage. And I think that's important.
I think mine was more so about motherhood than.
No, I'm just saying, like, motherhood and marriage, all this stuff. For me, it's all tied in together. You know, even though it's two different things, but that's a real question, and that's a real thing that happens. I feel like, you know, a lot of times, is especially with people that the person that stays home. You know, a lot of times that happens. So I just felt like that was a real question.
Yeah, and it didn't. Brianna said it had been brought up to her, but the other two were like, no. But obviously, Haley wouldn't lose herself in marriage at all because she didn't want to be married.
Yeah.
And Virginia is fighting for her independence.
Yeah.
Like, she is willing to go to war over it. So, and she is going to war every day.
Because Eric is like, nah.
Yeah, Eric wants her. I was watching a podcast, and it was Kev on stage, and he was like, I want you to be independent of me. Yeah. Like, I want you to depend on me. That is Eric. He wants Virginia to be independent of him. And Virginia is like, no, I am strong. I am independent. I don't need you. I would like a husband, but you got to fit into my life. And he's like, no, I'm out. But yeah, I definitely think that situation with Clara is, as a lot of us have said in the comment section, it's like Clara walking on eggshells in the relationship. She's not being able to fully be herself. And I do think that she will, if she has to continue this journey with cameras, she would lose herself in this relationship. Now, I think that it'll probably open up a bit when there's not a magnifying glass on their relationship.
Right. But we still have to realize these folks have went through any type of arguments that we've seen. And what they're telling the experts is, you know, and everybody else on the outside is that everything's fine. Like, even the situation with Clara talking about, you know, her wanting to be loved and told that. She's saying this to the girls at the beach house and never told Ryan this.
Right.
So it's yeah, man. It's like, dog, we just say something, speak up.
Speaking of Clara and love, Dr. Pepper has them write love letters to each other. So Ryan reads out this cute, nice, heartfelt message, and at the end he says, "Love, Ryan." And Clara starts crying. And then Clara can't get through her letter because she's crying. And I'm like, girl, he still didn't tell you that he loves you. He gave a salutation or a warm wish.
Yeah.
Of
I don't think she was love. Crying over that though.
Yeah, but she was crying.
She was crying because he wrote a letter about her.
But it was the activity. It wasn't like he just did it on his own.
But okay.
So yeah, they cry and she feels great about this at the end. So the girls all get together that night and they discuss their day. And then Bree asked her if she was in love, and she gave a very Ryan answer. She didn't answer the question. She was just like, yeah, you know, like so like that.
She basically was like, we're gonna keep that private for the most part, because she was like, what did she say? Something about that it's not, she didn't want to say, or she wanted to bring that up to him or something like that. I was like, man, y'all are a trip.
Well, it had already come out with the experts.
Yeah, but they hadn't saw that.
Well, you see it now.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Did you have anything else for me?
Nah, Ryan is the one that started the argument between Eric and Virginia about the post-decision day. Just wanted to bring that up.
But what's the two people that said, oh, that was during Haley and Jacob's fight. Eric was like, awkward.
Right. Nah, but that's all I have for them. I ain't really have much for Ryan and Clara.
So, next week is decision day?
I think so.
What do you think? Start at the top. We already know the disaster should be saying no.
Yeah.
Eric, Page.
Chris, yeah, they should be saying no.
Virginia and Eric.
Virginia and Eric, they gonna say no. I think Bree and I think we just gonna get two yeses.
You think it'll be
Bree and Vince and Clara and Ryan? They're gonna say yes.
What if Haley says yes and Jacob says no?
Haley is a dummy if she says yes. Haley is a big dummy. She's a big dummy, and she wasn't paying attention to any of the signs. Like, she just was like oblivious to all of it. So
we're gonna start a YouTube dating show for Jake.
Right. Jake, like I said, Jake's gonna leave this show and he's gonna be happily married within the next year.
He gonna find him a nice little young joint that can have his
baby. Right.
And she gonna be pregnant by the time he turns 41.
Yeah.
Whenever that may be. Because I don't know his birthday. I just know he's 39.
Because somebody's gonna look at this and be like, I can see where he tried. And she wasn't like even giving a go. Or not looking internally, but just only looking externally at their issues and their problems. So
you think Bree and Vincent or Clara and Ryan will end up doing a couple scam?
Bree and Vincent, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Clara and Ryan is probably not.
Ryan's gonna be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right, guys, tell us what you thought of this week's episode. And I guess you can give us your end of season predictions as well. I'm going to go back through and watch our very first prediction video.
Yeah.
To figure out if our end of season predictions are close.
Oh, I know mine is off.
Are close to ours.
I think I said everybody just come stay together.
Yeah, you were like, I love love. It's all going to work out. Yeah. Everybody's great.
now by the end of it, I'm like, oh, God. No.
None of these people are going to stay together. None of these people should be together.
I will tell you this, though. The episodes are better for me. They're more entertaining for me without Chris and Paige there.
Yeah, I was just tired of spending my entire 2 hours frowning at the TV screen and wanting to fight somebody that I've never met.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Fight for someone that I've never met. Because it's like, I want to, like, I don't want to say I want to square up with you, but I want to give you a piece of my mind because you don't treat women that way. Right. But yeah. So please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, comment down below. And also let us know, did you guys watch the Married at First Sight Unmatchables tonight? We did not watch tonight, but we're going to try to watch tomorrow. And if it is worth the watch, we'll do a video. Mm-hmm. Maybe even if it's not worth the watch, we'll still do the video. Right. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Bye, guys.
Peace.